I'll turn it off for better bandwidth. So a couple of housekeeping notes. Feel free to put your questions in the chat as well, and the broker will be monitoring those, and he'll. I guess you can stop me when when you think it's appropriate to ask a question. Answer the questions at the end on your discretion. Okay. What else? There will be a surprise giveaway at the end. I have an online course, Data-Centric Executive, and we'll raffle a couple of things at the end. So stay with us until then. And I guess that's it. And we're not recording this, right, Gokar?
Oh, we are recording it. We're recording it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So then be aware that and if you're going to ask questions live. Okay. All right. With that, let us start. Ruben Sardarian, and I'll be. This is what we're going to cover. What is data centricity? I'm going to go over differences between data-centric and app-centric organizations. Why data-centric organizations have an advantage in today's economy. Data-centric architecture blueprint. So the main topic of today's talk, and then we're gonna do the giveaway. Okay.
Ruben,
go ahead.
Would you mind to take off your camera so we get better bandwidth? Because okay. I think someone is asking for loud or like increasing the volume too. Volume is fine from my side. Volume is not a problem at all.
Increase the volume on the mic.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yes, it's good from my side.
Right. So this is our agenda for today. Again, put your questions in the chat, and a little bit about me. So my background is that of a sort of chief data officer with a deep technology background. I was doing software for like 20 years. I joined Questrade. I ran data and analytics there for over a decade. And last 3 years I spent in consulting, helping with their data strategy and focusing mainly on the data-centric strategy, right? So my career at Questrade led me to manage data and information separately from manage ways at managing data and information separately, apart from technology life cycles, because large financial institution, the data landscape is really vast and complex, and when you're responsible for like data products and analytics on that sort of chaotic view, you need to find ways of how you manage the meaning of things at scale. That's what data centricity is really about. Okay, so the inception of my data-centric worldview was at Questrade, and then I got to know Dave McCall from Semester at Demers. She's in Toronto. This summer I authored a course called Data-Centric Executive that aims to educate people concepts of data centricity and make them easier to adopt this worldview. And this is what we're going to be raffling today. And you guys will, so like everybody will get a huge discount. Okay. Why have I given that away? I don't know. Maybe somebody will come by it well and speak it. Anyways, let's start. So what is data centricity? In today's world, everybody knows, at least, that every business is a data business. It's really about how you manage and how you extract value from it. And really need to look at technology as a vehicle or container for data, right? So often mix concepts of like they look at information as an extension of technology, something that's connected to technology at some, but it really should be something that's abstracted from technology. That's those and data and information space. Now, let me ask you this: what matters more, a wallet, or the money inside, right? So think of an abstract, absolutely not abstract, but an absurd situation where your wallet tells you how you can spend your money. Ridiculous, right? So your wallet deciding which stores you can go to, what you can buy, what you cannot buy, and that's exactly the story with these companies. The wallet being the technology and the money being information inside, because companies decide, and not all companies, but the majority of companies, they decide to build or buy certain pieces of technologies. Technology, they spend an arm and a leg on creating them, and they are first to act the confines of this technology. So this is the old school, what they call the app-centric way, when or your applications, your technology decides how you can use the application. And in a data-centric world, you decide everything about how you function. Let's look at the data-centric versus app-centric approach, right? So in the app-centric realm, have this mess of applications that are all created in ways. Data-centric way, you have a single data model. Doesn't mean that it's a single data store or physically it's one data store connecting all your applications. A lot of times it's virtual. Main thing is you have a model. It can be an abstract model that defines how your data works. Okay, with me so far, folks?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. So the problem with technology or this application-based approach is that every piece of software, like most technology, it comes with its own data model. And data model is really how that software or technology looks at the world. And so it can be, CRM, some custom built software, like SaaS system, etc. Like they all have their data model, most of which are rigid, even they allow for some configuration or they allow for extension of this It's still largely models dictated by this technology. They limit you in ways how you your data and what self and them. Right? And so businesses are kind of forced to adjust their operating model to fit between this disjointed world of application models and essentially this landscape of technology or applications. It dictates your worldview. Operates. Data-centric realm, you determine the world. Of a model, you can create a model of business that perfectly reflects its operating model. Then adjust whatever you buy or build, make it conform to that. Okay? So data centricity is essentially the ability of organization to effectively manage data life cycles apart from technology life cycles. As simple as that. There are a number of ways of doing this. I talk on the outside. My definition of a data-centric organization is simple. It's one that single data model, and it prioritizes managing data and information over managing systems and technology. Okay, with me so far? Get it, folks? Any questions? Again, please put in the chat.
Yeah, we're good. We're good, Raven.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Here's another way to think about data centricity.
I think, sorry, yeah. Rus, you have, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name correct. Rus, your hand was
I'm just reacting to say what's good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So if we compare an organization to a computer, and pretty much any business today is a computer. You think of it as a system that has lots of moving parts. These computers are constantly getting extended and expanded by humans, and also increasingly more by robots. Then the app-centric organization, that terms in terms of systems or applications, they end up being these Frankenstein systems that have lots of redundant parts, lots of conflicting parts. They have a lot of infrastructure. A lot of it is waste. Actually, more than half of modern IT budget on average goes on integration and creating these different copies of data and silos of data. In the data-centric realm, this computer is more optimized, right? So it's elegant, it has no redundant or conflicting parts, and small infrastructure footprint. So this is our goal with data-centric architecture. For our organizational computer, our organization as a complex system, for it to be efficient, to spend less energy, less have less noise in it, etc., etc. Right. So now let's look at why data-centric organizations have an advantage. I partly covered it already. Advantage number one, they maximize data centricity, really maximizes the economic effects of using data in your organization. So two of the most important properties of data are that data is non-rivalrous and non-depletable, meaning you can use it simultaneously by multiple actors and you don't run out of it. It's an indepletable resource that can be used in parallel by as many actors, humans and robots, as possible. And another economic property is that data is excludable. That means that one party that has access or control to data that the other organization doesn't, this organization possesses like a competitive edge over the other, right? And these two properties, they really constitute the cornerstone of this digital economy. So data centricity, data-centric architectures, and data-centric paradigm, it really optimizes for exploiting this economic properties of data. Again, makes our computer much more efficient. Now, I'm not going to go in detail. Again, like if and when you get access to the course, there's a lot more. So this is like, I'm just covering the tip of the iceberg in this topic, but there's much deeper kind of lots of sources.
Ruben, do you want to take a question?
Absolutely, sure. Go ahead.
So Jonah asked, how does data-centric differ from data-driven?
Yeah, that's a question that I frequently get asked. Thank you so much, Jonah. So data-driven, if you think about like pretty much everything is data-driven today, right? There aren't many organizations that aren't data-driven. The question is driven to what extent, right? With what efficiency, to what degree companies use data, right? If I, like as a business, I use software, I use applications, and the software runs on data, right? So any organization is data-driven, right? Using software that uses data. If you mean by data-driven, like the amount of attention that an organization pays to data, how much they invest in it, how much they invest in like things like data literacy, it's related to using data and analytics. Maybe you can have like a spectrum of that, but the definition of data centricity that we use is that the company puts information first, right? So they prioritize managing information life cycles over managing technology life cycles and even org structure. Okay, did that answer your question, Jonah or Francis?
Okay, we got thumbs up.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah.
there was another question Diva asked. Can you please re-explain what is excludable?
Yes. So excludable, that means that one organization has certain advantages over giving this slide, right? Probably back my presentation. You mean here, right? The economic property of excludability. So this property means that one entity that um, possesses the data and has ways of preventing others of using this information. So I know something that you don't, basically, right? Uh, that gives me competitive edge over, right? So this is really the capability to control access to data, right? So and this power, it really exists in a continuum and changes depending on technology, technological factors, laws like data privacy law, um, things like that, right? So, for instance, at some point, organizations were using a lot of kind of practices that are considered right now illegal or gray, such as like spamming or like scraping certain resources, things like that, right? Or AI, again, companies were using non-ethical ways of using AI. I believe there's going to be less and less of that. Um, at least kind of with the official businesses, because governments are increasingly introducing more AI regulation. So to answer the question on exclusivity, it's a power one organization has in information that the other doesn't. They can exclude the others accessing the data.
Yeah, thank you. Got it.
Thanks. All right. So speaking about the costs, about the inefficiencies, application centric really means that there are lots of extra costs, right? There are infrastructure costs. Like I said, there's a lot of integration costs. Complexity is very often underrated. How many new data sources are being created? How many data models that you have to integrate? You are losing your speed to innovate and deliver value to the market. So agility costs. Uh, your data quality goes lower with all this, like again, vast landscape of applications, and your trust in data goes more, right? So these are all results of an app-centric approach that we, like majority of the organizations have ended up with. And actually, many companies are right now trying to, they have realized that these are the costs are too big, and they're starting to invest in the data-centric approach as means to rein in the data chaos. Okay. Yep. Steve, thanks for posting in the chat. Yeah, absolutely go and read Steve's book. Follow him. Okay. Dave Com is one of the biggest thought leaders in the space. And you can also listen to the podcast we recently recorded with him. And he's also a guest speaker on my online course. So thanks for posting that, Steve. Now let's look at the differences between data-centric and app-centric organizations. Okay. In the data-centric world, data is a shared resource. Everybody benefits, humans, robots. In the app-centric realm, data is hoarded. In the data-centric world, technology landscape is elegant and simple. And in an app-centric world, it is typically vast and complex. Data-centric companies focus on data and information. Technology is just a tool for them that evolves, changes, but they really focus on the meaning of things. In the application-centric realm, company focuses on technology and tools. Information, data is an afterthought, as are things like the meaning of things, aka semantics. Okay, in a data-centric world, companies have little to no data silos, and app-centric companies have lots of data silos. As a result, Data-centric orgs have high levels of trust in data, levels of data literacy, and they innovate and they move much faster than the app-centric companies. And the app-centric companies have the opposite of that. Okay. Now, this is my very core belief that I formed over the last few years, that the digital economy will only embrace companies that adopt a data-centric mindset in one way or another. Okay, this is going to be a requirement to stay in the business at some point, because um, if you keep growing your digital landscape uncontrollably, eventually a competitor who does that in a much more elegant and data-centric way, they're going to outcompete you. Okay, now let's talk about the data-centric architecture. The goal of the data-centric architecture is really to move from these multiple models, multiple worldviews, to a single model, to a place where all your applications speak the same language. Okay, and the way to do that is by introducing abstract models. Show the whole slide is to introduce abstract models that can help you manage these information life cycles, manage the meaning of things uh, outside of the technology or application life cycles, right? So as your applications change, you build a mechanism that allows you to manage the meaning of things at scale, right? So what a customer means for you, it shouldn't change as your technology changes. What you know about the customer, how you understand different um, information points about customers, it shouldn't change, or it should evolve, but in a good way. You shouldn't be losing capabilities in regards to your customers' information as your technology landscape gets modernized or progresses. Now, this is the most important slide in today's presentation. And by the way, we're going to share, we're going to share the slides at the end. So I'm going to toss the deck in the chat, and I think Dipankar will distribute it to registrants as well. But this is a very generic data-centric architecture blueprint where we can divide things into 4 levels of abstraction, essentially. And I'm actually going to start with level 4, which is what all organizations have regardless of where they are. This is our level of systems or applications. And we can have absolutely all sorts of data models, all sorts of data ways how data is represented here. There's no, you can have anything and everything. This is everything that exists in today's world. Okay, from files to databases, spreadsheets, streams, you name it. Now the next level up is metadata, is all the data that describes that data. Okay, this is physical metadata. Why I have it in a separate layer? Because this level is coupled with that physical systems level. Okay, this is the data that physically describes data in a particular data store. So for instance, if this is database, this is our database metadata schema of the tables, the columns, etc. Or the stream, it would describe your fields in the stream, etc. Main thing is it's physical, it's tied to a specific system or specific data store. Now the next 2 levels higher up, they're abstract. So semantics and topology levels. This is our abstract model. And why I mentioned graphs? Because graphs are actually the most flexible way to model the world. They give you unprecedented flexibility when it comes to representing the complexity of the real world. They don't have a rigid schema, like for instance, relational models. So it's much easier to create and maintain a model of your business, a graph, than it is with a relational. Okay, so and you can have it in there are lots of ways. Again, I talk in detail in the course what are there. Graphs are very well standardized open source technologies. There are kind of proprietary technologies that have all their pros and cons, but the main idea is to have it in a graph model, to have a rigid schema that can restrict how you work, so how your schema. Okay, with me so far?
Yep.
Any questions so far about this slide?
So Ruben, I got a question. So
Mm-hmm.
is that you are suggesting to have everyone go to level 1 or follow the level 1, or?
In larger organizations, it will inevitably happen. Organizations that are smaller have a smaller print. They can create a semantic model. So what ontology is basically a common language for your semantics, right? It's the higher level of your semantic. So larger organizations that have the bigger data landscapes, that level is really required to for systems to speak the same language. So there's a concept called semantic interoperability, and systems can exchange the meaning of things, and it's really enabled by ontologies.
Okay. So you're not talking about physical databases?
No.
No. Okay.
So
Okay.
the levels 1 and 2, they're not physical in the sense that you can still have them in a tool, right? And but most of the technologies I recommend are fairly portable, in the sense that they're either open source or like graphs can be really easily converted. There are even like people who have built tools which are like a Swiss Army knives for graph models, so you can convert.
Yeah, no, got it. Because I was a bit confused with graph database itself, because there is a graph database exists. So I was thinking that is the one you're talking about.
You can have it in a graph database. You can have it like graph databases. There are different types of them. If you're talking about something like Neo4j, for instance, it's a so-called like named property graph, a database. There are also RDF databases that are based on the RDF functions, like an open source way, standard for keeping triples. And that's another way to record graphs. There's a bunch of ways. There are hyper graph databases that are emerging. That are sort of a mix between a graph and relational approaches that offer very interesting ways of model things. And I'm actually a co-founder of a knowledge graph company called Semantium, where we introduce fairly novel ways of modeling graph databases. So we keep the ontology, the semantic layer, the metadata layer, and even some reference and master data in the same knowledge graph. Right? You can have all the most valuable and most important information in a single knowledge graph, and you model it in a unique way. This gives you unprecedented ways to access it, to make sense of things, because it's all is classified in the same manner. So you have your data interconnected, right? So you create the top of the pyramid, you have it in a single knowledge graph. And I think with this era of LLMs and generative AI, you gotta have something like that to expand the capabilities of your generative AI. Basically have all the core concepts, core language, core definitions, most important information in your organization, along with its model. You can have a knowledge graph. This will give true, very, very cool to your AI. Actually preparing to demo on that sometime in the coming months, as currently some experiments in that space. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so again, this is very generic, but the idea is you introduce abstract models that model your data and they allow you to manage your information regardless of what happens on your level. So you define your customer and what you're going to, like, how you understand them, how your business works in relation to them on levels 1 and 2, and then your level on 3 either gets conformed to that, or either whatever you buy or build, basically it reflects your understanding of the customer, okay, not vice versa. Right. Now, I want to also cover what successful data-centric companies do. Okay. First, you see formalized common language. A lot of them will have some sort of ways to manage this in a systematic way. You also see common metadata formats and also centralized metadata management. You see a lot of everything is a data product approach, right? The companies really treating data as an asset and as a product. You see that companies are trying to optimize their database landscape. So no multiple data stores of the same type, no 5 types of relational database and 6 types of graph database, things like that. They really focus on the interoperability of their information and data. You see very high degrees of business automation there. Most companies that are very advanced in the data centricity, they have like all of their business rules and processes actually encoded in code. By the way, I forgot to mention that you have to really treat data centricity as a spectrum. It's not like a black and white thing, right? So today you're data centric, or yesterday you weren't data centric, then boom, like at the flick of a switch, you become data centric. No, it's a spectrum on this, like from having very disconnected way where all of your data is disconnected, different applications, and on the other, like very data centric end of the spectrum, you have all your data in a single model. Most companies, they fall like somewhere like in the middle, but I think more towards, in today's world, more towards the app-centric, system-centric space, but it's really how well your data is kind of centralized in a single model. It's the spectrum. Data-centric companies that are successful, they prefer to use open or in-house solutions. They tend not to make themselves dependent technology vendors that are expensive, or like to like they make it too dependent on their commercial solution. They have some ways to back that up. You see that in their architectures, they have things like governance and security built in, right? So companies, they spend an arm and a leg on data governance and on security these days, again, as a result of a very disconnected application-centric, system-centric landscape. So you simplify that landscape, make it more streamlined. Governance and security costs are actually much more friendly. You spend a lot less on that. And also democratized access and use. You can see many actors throughout the organization using the data and reusing it over and over again. Okay. So with that, folks, I think we're wrapping up. We're going to do the giveaway now. Do you guys want to do the Q&A and then the giveaway, or want to? I think, Paul, you can run the shuffle right now.
Oh,
So
yeah, sure.
this is my online course. So if you go to data-centricexecutive.com, so Paul, I don't know, like if you want to do the like.
Yes, I'm ready with.
People were in this meeting. Do you want to share your screen and do
Sure,
the Wheel
sure.
of Names thing?
Yeah,
And then I'll
yeah.
take over.
Okay, sure, I'll do that. Thank you so much, Ruben.
So
And
we want to randomly choose a couple of people from today's attendees, and we will email you, I think, Pankar has your emails, and he will email you like access codes to get this thing for free. These are our attendees today. But do you want to do like all the registrants or everybody who attended today? I think it will be fair for people who joined and listened to this.
No, completely. I think, we'll be excluded if who is not there. So please help us if you're there, because it'll be hard for me to find out now who is attending. Then I have to go one by one, whatever.
Okay.
But however, here is all the list, all the people who have registered for today's event. Let's see.
Let's do click to spin or press Control Enter. We used this website a few times during the events to sort of like select random people. My original idea was to use Excel with the rand function. Himanshu, is there a Himanshu?
Yes, I'm here.
Great.
Excellent. Himanshu, congratulations. Please put your email, like send it to Dipankar, like put it in the chat, and we'll email you. And let's do another one.
Yes. Yeah, please make sure, just because I don't have actually email access. I have all the people name. So please put that email address. Thank you. Okay, let's try again. Ooh. Realist painting. Ooh. I don't know. Itzhak, yeah.
Is there Itzhak in the list here?
Okay, maybe not.
All right, let's try another.
Sure.
There's a way to just copy this list of people. Kevin? Nope.
Kevin, are there?
Okay,
no.
And you can do remove maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So Kevin. Oh, okay. I should remove. Okay, I should remove. Yeah.
Increase our chances. Yeah, so maybe rand function would work better in this scenario. Because in one event we just did it like with in Excel.
Okay.
There, Abhishek. Nope.
Okay, we'll go quick.
Okay. Now.
Oh, Abhishek, you there? No. Okay, Shruti. Shruti, you there? No. Okay.
Man, like I think it's better to use Excel and just pick the name with the rand.
Just pick my name. I'm here.
Yes. Okay. Alternative approach.
Yes. No.
No.
Okay.
Let's see who's faster.
Quiet.
Okay, Paul. Let me take this over just so we don't waste too much time.
Okay, sure.
This is the approach I recommend. Okay, so I put the rand between 1 and 17, and we'll include obviously me and you, and here was HP, and then okay, so let's do 2. Who's number 2 in the list of attendees? Demodran. Is that Demodran?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so let's pick you as winner just as number 2.
See,
Okay.
I told you.
Yeah. So this works faster, like in when you have
What do you need?
yeah.
You need my email ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give Dipankar your email.
Okay.
Also, Himanshu and Damodaran, you guys will email you codes that give you like 100% discount, and the rest of you folks, you can use. I pasted this in the chat. This gives you 70% off. Again, this is active for next 5 days. And with that, please, any questions?
A great presentation.
Somebody's very loud.
Thanks, right here.
Okay. Yes, let me actually try to see if I can put it in the chat. I think Dipankar was going to.
Yes, I'm gonna send the email with the content.
Let me see if I can just toss it in the chat. If this, the team supports it, and just share it with people immediately, and then you can email them also. Yes. So when I drag the file to this thing, it doesn't anything. Can attach anything. You guys know if there's a way to share a file in this place?
I think in the chat, if you drop it, it will take it.
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't work? Oh, wow.
No. Tried. Okay, and the 3 dots, it just brings some apps. Okay, so Paul will email the presentation to you. Thank you, folks, for attending. Again, last call for questions if you guys want to ask anything regarding data centricity in the chat. Otherwise, our winners will get the course shortly, and wish you guys a very happy holidays.
Yeah, Ruben, you can turn on your camera now. See if how it works with that. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send the course from Ruben to Damodaran and Himanshu. I have your email. So, and thanks everyone for joining. It was a wonderful discussion, learning from Ruben, and look forward to meeting you in the next month again.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks. And feel free to reach out and connect, guys, on LinkedIn. I'm there all the time. All right. Thanks for organizing again this, Mr. Paul, and happy holidays. Yeah, a very peaceful holiday season, and hoping to do an interesting talk for you next year.
Oh no, completely. Look forward for that. Yeah, same to you, Ruben. And happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays. Enjoy the relaxed time. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.